Okay, so let's dive in. You know that feeling, right? It's like Wednesday. You check your bank balance. Maybe you shouldn't have.
Uh-huh. That moment of dread.
Exactly. And you just think, seriously, where did it all go? And the first place your mind jumps is, ugh, I must be spending way too much.
That's the default, isn't it? The immediate self-blame. I blew it somewhere. We automatically catalog, like, every coffee, every little purchase.
Totally. I've done that mental audit so many times, absolutely convinced I'd find, some huge, irresponsible splurge. But here's the thing we're digging into today.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's not actually how much you spent?
What if it's something else?
Yeah, what if it's more about when things are happening, the timing?
Ah, okay. So you're talking about the difference between, like, a spending problem versus a cash flow problem, is that it?
Exactly. They could feel really similar day to day, that, uh-oh, not enough money feeling,
Yeah.
but they're fundamentally different beasts.
Right. So a spending problem is pretty straightforward, I guess. You're just, well, spending more than you make
Yeah.
consistently.
Yeah, outflow is bigger than inflow, period. But a cash flow problem,
Mm-hmm.
that's more about the mismatch. Your paycheck lands on one day,
Yeah.
but your rent or car payment is due like 3 days before that. You might actually have enough money over the whole month, but it's not there when you need it.
That makes sense. It's like the money's coming, but the timing's off. Like waiting for a bus that you know exists, but it's just not arriving when you're standing there needing to get somewhere. That mismatch creates a ton of stress.
Oh, tell me about it. I remember this so clearly from when I was living paycheck to paycheck. It was constant anxiety. Payday was Friday
Yeah.
relief.
That brief moment of feeling okay.
So brief.
Yeah.
Because then, bam, a bunch of bills will be due the next Thursday. It always felt like I was scrambling perpetually just a little bit behind.
That's such a perfect example of that cash flow crunch. The money was coming in, you were covering things eventually, but that gap, that lag between income and outgo.
It just creates that constant feeling of chasing your tail.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just the big stuff either. It'd be like needing groceries on Monday, but the deposit wasn't clearing till Wednesday.
Right. Little things too.
Yeah, so you start the week feeling broke and stressed, even though you technically know money is on the way.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to just label that feeling as, I'm bad with money, or I must be
It
overspending.
really is. Because the symptom, not enough cash right now, points you towards thinking you spent too much. But if the root cause is timing, just saying spend less doesn't actually fix the core issue, does it? It
No.
doesn't solve that Thursday bill problem when payday is Friday.
Exactly. So if it's not always about slashing expenses, but getting the timing right,
Hmm.
how do we actually do that? How do we stop that weekly juggle? Well, I actually found something kind of cool and surprisingly simple.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, using a little bit of AI, actually. A specific prompt for something like ChatGPT that helps you map out that weekly flow.
Interesting. Using AI for, like, basic weekly budgeting or
Yeah.
planning, I guess.
Yeah, more like planning the flow. And it's super easy. You literally just copy and paste this text into the chat. I get paid weekly, and I'm trying to get ahead on my bills. Please help me create a weekly plan to pay my expenses. Here are my weekly income and expenses.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the important part. You just type in your actual weekly income figure and list out your regular weekly expenses and bills right after that.
Huh. That seems almost too simple. But I guess just laying it out clearly for the AI, that process alone could be revealing.
It totally is.
Yeah.
The AI takes your numbers, your income timing, your expense timing, and it basically draws you a map. It shows you how things line up, or, more often, how they don't line up during the week.
Like a little financial weather report for the next 7 days. I get it. It makes the invisible visible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And once you see it, that's when you can actually start making smart adjustments.
Okay, so walk me through it. You mentioned you really felt this pinch yourself.
Yeah, so the big aha for me came after a job change. We were down to one income for a bit, and that old familiar budget tightness kicked in. My first instinct was, okay, panic mode, cut everything.
The usual reaction, tighten the belt.
Right. But then I remembered this prompt idea and figured, well, what's the harm? Let's just see.
So you plugged in the numbers, the single income, the weekly bills.
Yeah, put in the weekly income amount, listed out all the regular stuff, rent portion, utilities estimate, groceries, gas, the drill. And what ChatGPT gave back, it was this incredibly clear breakdown, like almost day by day, showing which part of that paycheck needed to go where and when.
So that visualization was key, seeing it laid out.
It was huge. Suddenly, I wasn't just looking at a lump sum on payday and a list of bills. I was seeing the actual flow. And almost immediately, things clicked.
Like what? What did you see?
Well, first I spotted this, $80 subscription service. And I realized, honestly, we weren't even using it anymore. So boom, paused it immediately. It's still a little bit of wiggle room.
Nice. Easy win.
Yeah. But the bigger thing was seeing our utility bill. It usually landed a couple of days before payday. The AI's plan kind of highlighted that clash. So I looked into it and realized I could shift the payment date by like 3 or 4 days to after payday without any late fee or penalty.
Ah, okay. So you didn't cut the spending on the utility. You just adjusted the timing to match your income flow better.
Exactly. And neither of those things, pausing the subscription or shifting the bill date, involved earning more money or making some painful sacrifice. It was just smarter alignment, better timing.
That's really powerful because it creates that feeling of breathing room you mentioned, not from more income, but from better organization.
Totally. And almost instantly, that constant low-level financial anxiety started to ease up. It wasn't magic money. It was just having a clear plan for the money I did have based on its actual weekly rhythm. That sense of control is huge.
It really is. It moves you from feeling reactive and stressed to proactive and well-planned, even if it's just week by week.
So, if you're listening and that whole always feeling a bit short midweek thing sounds familiar, even if you think you're being careful, seriously, give this a try. And don't worry if you're not, like, super techie. It really is just copy, paste, and type your numbers.
Okay, so once you get that initial plan back from the AI, what else can you do? Can you, like, ask it follow-up questions?
Oh, absolutely. Great point. The source material actually gives some good examples. You could ask things like, okay, based on this, how much could I realistically put towards my credit card debt this week?
Okay, getting more specific.
Or maybe, what's the best way to time my smaller bills, like streaming services, around this pay schedule? It can help you optimize even further.
That's cool. So it becomes more of a conversation, tailoring it to your specific goals, like debt payoff or saving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, and this is really important, you are still in charge. The AI gives suggestions. It provides clarity. But if a suggestion doesn't feel right or doesn't fit your life that week, you tweak it. You adjust it. It's a tool, not a dictator.
Right. It's decision support, not decision-making. You're still the boss of your money.
Definitely. And there's a great pro tip in the source, too. Try talking to ChatGPT like it's a helpful coach. Be honest. If things are a bit messy, say so. The more real info you give it,
The better the advice it can give back. Garbage in, garbage out applies to AI too, I guess.
pretty much. So be upfront about your situation for the best results.
Okay, so using the prompt is the first step. How do you make this stick so you don't just do it once and forget about it?
Yeah, good question. The source suggests creating a weekly reset routine, making it a habit.
Like a Sunday night planning session.
Exactly. Or whatever day works for you as a reset day. Just take like 10 or 15 minutes, look at your expected income for the week ahead, pop the numbers back into the prompt, see the plan, and then adjust it for anything specific coming up.
Yeah.
You know, a birthday dinner, a kid's field trip, maybe that unexpected car repair.
Right, factoring in the real life stuff that always happens that makes it practical.
Totally. It keeps the plan current and keeps you feeling ahead of the game instead of reacting after the fact.
That consistency sounds like the real key to breaking that cycle of midweek panic.
For sure. And I love the little bonus tip they included. Try doing it while you're doing something else routine, like folding laundry. Or maybe, hiding in the pantry with a cup of tea for 5 minutes of peace.
Huh. Find a quiet moment wherever you can grab it. Make it fit your life.
Exactly. Don't make it another chore. Make it a small, empowering ritual.
So wrapping this up, it feels like the big insight here is pretty profound, actually. Gaining control over your finances isn't always about needing more money. Often it's about truly understanding and managing the timing of the money you already have.
Absolutely. It's about stopping that weekly money spiral, that feeling of constantly being behind, just by getting the flow right. This AI prompt is just a simple tool to help you do that.
It empowers you to feel more in control week by week. So for listeners who want to try this specific prompt, where did you say they could find it?
You can grab the exact prompt text over at smartermomsonline.com/crushDebtBot. Just copy it from there.
smartermomsonline.com/crushDebtBot. Got it.
Give it a shot, see if mapping out your week makes a difference.
Okay, so here's a final thought to leave you with. Could it be that the biggest shift towards feeling financially secure isn't about the amount of money, but simply mastering its timing? Something to think about.